So can you begin to apply for jobs even before you come to Norway, or you're sure you're going to come to Norway? The answer is yes. You can start the process even in your home country.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay, all I want, and I pray.
Thank you so much for joining me again on another video. So today I will be explaining to you the job market situation here in Norway, what you can do to facilitate your job process, what you can do to get a job as soon as you come to Norway, because the whole job process in this country is not in the twinkle of an eye or in a snap of a finger. It takes a long time to get a job here in Norway. So in my last video, I gave you a breakdown to see if you come and study here in Norway, will you be able to work to pay your tuition fees if the tuition fee starts in this academic year. Just to let you know the situation on the tuition fee thing, there's not been much said from my previous update. Everything has been so quiet, and at this point we don't know if they're still going to go ahead with it, if they're going to carry it out, or if they're going to postpone it, if they're confused, we don't know anything yet. I only know the schools sent out messages to students to ask if they will still want to come and study here in Norway given the tuition fees, and some schools went on to give you the figures, and I received some of your comments about the schools in different parts of the country that have already done that, and most of you still want to carry out the application process. I think that's the wise thing to do, because we do not know the situation. So in my last video, we saw how it will be if you work 20 hours complete a week, which is the hours that's been assigned to international students coming to study here in Norway. And you have 20 hours to work per week, and full-time during the vacation, so either the summer vacation or the Christmas vacation, because there are 2 semesters here in Norway. We also saw that that's not even the situation for so many people here in Norway. It's not as easy to be able to have an excess of 56,000 kroner a year, because the situation here is different from reality. Reality is different from what ought to be. I'll dedicate the first part of this video to tell you the realities here, to tell you why it's not easy to make such amount of money. First thing everyone wants to hear is the language barrier here in Norway. Many of you might have read on Google, Wikipedia and all that Norway is an English-speaking country. Well, that is what it said. Like, that's the official language. Norway is an English-speaking country. So many people in Norway speak English. Norwegians speak English. Yes, they speak very good English than some of us. They speak really good English. But then it is not the language they study with, or it's not the language they work with. And I think this is very common for most European countries around. Like, most of the countries in Europe, especially the small ones, they are so keen on their language, and they are so keen on the language that it is just spoken in that jurisdiction. So in Norway, if at least you can understand Norwegian, you can be able to understand what that Danish is saying or what Swedish is saying. Like, you can understand a bit. That's the only thing. Aside that, if you leave this country, nowhere else will you speak Norwegian unless you mistakenly see someone who was living in Norway and then you start to speak. The language is for the country itself, but then you have to know it. Most of the jobs here require you to have proficiency in Norwegian. Even as simple as a cleaning job, they'll tell you they want proficiency in Norwegian, because the place you might be going to clean, you would have to interact with the people in Norwegian. And even though they know how to speak English, it is just so easy for them to communicate in Norwegian, and it's just something they're used to. I do not blame them for that. I really do support them, because many of you people told me, when you see your friends from your country, you speak your language. Even though you can speak English, you can be in the company of other people and then you just switch to your language. So you do not have to blame Norwegians for being like that. And it's so easy when they know they're able to communicate with you in their language. It just makes the whole process easy. So for me, I support them for that 100%. But then when it's not coming in the way of we getting a job, that is when it's sometimes it's so painful, because at this job you can see you really qualify for this job, and then you see proficiency in Norwegian. You should be able to read and write Norwegian fluently. I'm like, you guys, so with that, you just have limited number of jobs in the country that you can work if you do not understand Norwegian. Working at 20 hours sometimes becomes really difficult. So now the second hurdle is the combination of work and school. It's really hard having to combine school and work together, because you can't tell your employee that you're in school, so you can't work this number of hours. So school closes at 4, like sometimes school closes at 4 because you might have classes. You will not have class from morning till afternoon. You have class from 2 to 4. Then 4, if your school is far from where you would be working, let's say you start work at 5. The 5 you are going to work, 5 p.m. you are going to work. You would have to stay there till like past 8, definitely. So because you have to work more hours, you might have to work till like 10. And if you're staying far away, you would have to take a bus or a train. And before you get home, that's like almost 11 p.m. Then you have to do your assignments, because there are some assignments you submit every week. And you might have like 3 assignments to submit in 2 weeks. So you're not coming with your tired self, because the jobs I told you, we are not just sitting down in the computers and type, you are working hard labor jobs that you feel it in your bones. So by the time you come to the house, your body is telling you, my guy, you have to sleep. Your book is also telling you you should not fail, or thou shalt not fail. So doing all those two at the same time, it is not child's play. It might be easy during the summer, but during the winter, inside is cold. You go out in the cold for hours, then you come back. The cold has entered you, and then sleep is calling. You have to just limit the amount of hours you work during the winter or during school time, because as I said previously, they check your records. If you have so much fails, the school might tell them to withhold your work permits, so you might be told to work 10 hours a week or 5 hours, or don't work at all. So if they take that away from you, how will you be able to survive? So you just have to find a balance between the two, and then just working limited hours during school time, and then working more hours during vacation. So with that, you would earn little during school time, and then vacation you now have to work so much to cover up for that. Another hurdle here could be lack of experience. That is one thing that makes us not get jobs as we're supposed to get. You come here, they tell you do not have experience in what? In cleaning. You do not have experience in what? In waiting on tables. And yes, that is true. They feel we do not have the required experience to bring out the best in cleaning, because they do not really see you as a cleaner, so you're a second-class citizen or anything. Everyone is the same. So fine, if you would want to come into our territory, you would have to have our own experience. So that is one major thing. There are people that have working experience in cleaning of over 20 years, and you're here competing with those people. You do not have even one single job experience. Nobody cares the classes you've gotten back in your bachelor's, first class, put it aside. Nobody cares if you are a general manager of a bank. Nobody cares, put it aside. My brother and my sister, can you dirty your hands? Can you carry the mop and scrub? Can you scrub WC? That is what they want to see. They'll be so happy if you've had like 20 years experience back home as a cleaner. Trust me. Whereas back home, for me, I can speak for my country, Ghana, because back home, people that clean are not really respected. They respect those that are bosses of the cleaners. So people that have those cleaning jobs feel so bad, and they want to get out of it just to be better people. And I'm just sometimes it gets me thinking, it's like, yes, cleaning jobs, there are cleaning jobs in Africa that don't pay. But what if you brand yourself to be an executive cleaner, sort of? Well, every experience is an experience. So if you know you are coming, just start finding experience that you would put in your CV. Do you have experience in the kitchen? I was like, yes, I help my mom to cook for parties. As simple as that. And it was true. I help my mom to cook for parties because you will do the same thing you do when you are cooking for parties. So if you are that kind of person back home, oh, the kitchen is not for you, they don't need to clean the house, you will come here, you would have to do that because that is what will pay your rent. If you don't have experience, they are watching you, they will just take the job away from you. So you should now start helping your people to clean in the house so that you can add it to your CV. Oh, participated in general cleaning activities for my community. It is as simple as that. You've branded yourself. Then okay, yes, you've cleaned before. But if you tell us that, oh, you're a general manager of a bank, yes, you put yourself so high that you can't come down. They can't work with you. So as simple as that, those simple experiences, you can find a part-time job back home, even though you feel it's for second-class citizen. You know what you're getting. Toilet is toilet. It doesn't mean that abroad toilet is smelling nicer than toilets in Africa. You go to certain places, the toilets are unbearable, and that might be where you'd have to clean. So if you start practicing it back home, coming here, you won't feel so bad about it. So just learn how to do those gross jobs. If it's to go and clean in the bank, fine, you have a degree. You can use that to be cleaning in banks. Say in Ghana, you can just join a cleaning company that you know cleans banks. They clean offices in big cities. Those in Nigeria, you can find a cleaning company that cleans like executive houses, executive places. It's all part of the experience. So when you come, you know you will have something to say, like from your heart. You're not lying that you were cleaning, because if they might have to check reference or something in future, you don't know, they might catch you that you were lying. So with this, or if you're someone like me and you do not like to lie, you know that okay, yes, you're telling the truth. So just find an experience you can start doing. 3 months is not so small. This 3 months, you can just start familiarizing yourself with the whole cleaning thing, because I realized that some of the things we used to clean back home, so I guess I watch people that clean the banks, that clean the malls. You see them with this mop. Yes, it's the same thing they used to clean here in Norway. So you'll start familiarizing yourself with those things. And then you come here and then you find it so easy. And you know that, oh, you're not feeling so pathetic, or it's like the end of the road for your life. You know, okay, it's something simple. You do it back home, so it's just nothing, I can do it. So that's what I would say. We lack experience back home. So when we come here, it's so hard for us to get that first job. Getting the first job that will push you to the next stage is so hard, because some of the jobs want to know that, okay, yes, you've worked in the Norwegian economy. You're familiar with the Norway's job situation, so you can work for them. So it's so hard. So that's one reason why we do not meet the targets. So I've shared 3 reasons with you. Now I would share how you can be able to position yourself in a way that you can overcome that before you come, so you don't make same mistakes some people made. First thing is the language. Yes, some of you have started learning the language back home. For me, I started learning the language before I came here, so at least, not like I learned the language to be able to make a conversation, no, at least when they ask me "Hvor fra," I can say "Ja, fra Ghana." If they ask me "Vad heter du," I can say "Jag heter Joy." At least I'm familiar with those words. If I go to the grocery shop, at least I can say "Vad kostar det?" I can ask them. "Hvor mye är det?" I can ask that. What I did was to start learning the alphabet before I came, so at least I could say the alphabet. So hard to keep alphabet in your head when you're a baby. I know how to count. I know how to count till millions, like, yes. So those were the basics I learned before coming. You can do that. It's so simple. Just go on Google. Google will, I even had this, I think I had this sheet that even told me how to pronounce the alphabet. So A is just like A, double A, then B, like, or you just let it, when you listen, you write the alphabet, the sounds as you hear it. So beer, like B-I-A, like that. You just translate it to your own language. So for me, I use the alphabet signs in my language to be able to remember the pronunciations. So as easy as that, you just start learning it, start familiarizing yourself with the whole thing, because coming here and now coming to start learning A, B, C, D, you are far behind. I'm not so much of a language person, but I'm so impressed with my progress so far. At least I can sit in an audience and know what they're talking about. I am not clueless, but then I'm still not proficient, and then it is limiting my getting certain jobs that I qualify for. But at least I have the head start. Sometimes I just use that to approach people. Oh, jag kan snacka norsk, men det är så lite, men jag provar att snacka, so they know that, okay, yes, I am trying. Not that you would come and then know, kan du snacka norsk? Please, what did you say? And that is so bad. At least if you can send a conversation to the next two lines, you are good to go sometimes. Kan du snacka norsk? Ja, jag kan snacka lite, men jag är inte så god. Men jag provar att snacka. Like, they're like, oh, so bra, so fin. Like, that's really nice, you know. They're like, okay, yes, you're trying. Meaning when you start working, you'll be able to grasp some words as you're working. And it's really impressive that, oh, you've just been here for such a short period of time, and then you are trying. It means that, yes, you are putting yourself into the society. You are embracing whatever they have for you. So that's the advice I'd give you. You can start learning with your Google Translate. You can start Googling the words, learning on YouTube. There are tons of videos to help you start. And now the second one on the school, balancing the school and work. There is not so much to be said about that. All what you need to do is to just balance the two. Try and find a balance. And if you can get a job for the weekend, that would be good. So weekend, you can decide to work your head off. Work 8 hours Saturday, work 8 hours Sunday. Then you start all over on Monday, Tuesday. If the whole of that Monday to Friday you are not working, that's so good. But then it's still so hard to find jobs for only the weekends, because you know that, yes, people want to do that. Because there are people that are in Norway and can work full time. So they want to work those weekend jobs for long hours and then work weekdays also. So the situation is just so hard for students, but then you can be able to overcome the challenge. It varies from person to person. What one person might get might be different from the other person, because we have different experiences and different backgrounds. And then the third one on we not having experience, I've already given you what you can do to overcome that. Just find a place to attach yourself. Even if it's for the weekend or for evenings on your way back from work, you can just do it. I don't know. I think we should move away from the level where we start seeing jobs in hierarchies that, oh, I am better off than this person. See, your hustle is your hustle. Back home in Ghana, my hustle was my hustle. I didn't care what anyone had to say. I will remove my heels and do the dirty job. It puts money on my table. That's all that matters. Nobody cares. If you're hungry, that is when everyone cares. They'll be pointing hands at you like, yes, see, they are not working. But see, so far as what you're doing is putting money on your table, do it. Do not mind what anyone has to say. If it is cleaning job, you're going to attach yourself to be cleaning every evening. So far as you have time and you want to do it, see, do it. If the money, it is coming to you, people will always talk. They will always talk. So just find a way of getting experiences one way or the other, because those are the jobs you can do immediately. You come. Just that, yeah, it's so difficult to get such jobs in Ghana, for instance. It's just difficult to get such jobs. But then you might have friends that have restaurants. Once in a while, you can go and help them out. It doesn't matter. No one. It's not demeaning. I don't know. We should try to start embracing such acts and not wait to come to the Western world before we start doing things like that. It's now you coming here before you know you want to wash plates, before you know you want to clean, before you know you want to cut grass. So the CV back home for me was totally different from the CV here. The CV back home was so compact. Pour out all your skills inside, like all your accomplishments, put everything inside. But then you come here, you might even need 1 page, 2 page, highest 2 page. I've always been fighting to make my CV 2 pages. Like it's been a constant stress just to compress everything you think you've achieved. Just compress it into few lines. Just be able to convince them in few words. Just put all your experience together, put the relevant ones out. So that's one thing I'll advise you to do. Find the Norwegian format CV. So a bonus for this, I'll be sharing a link which I found where you can get a CV format for Norway. So that's a bonus here in this video. You'll be having a CV format where you can start to prepare your CV. I'm not an HR person or I'm not a hiring manager, so I don't think I'll be able to give you advice 100% on that. I still do not know what the HR people in this country want. But then if you have that format, you can use that to apply for the job. There was this question as to whether you should have a Norwegian CV and an English CV. Honestly speaking, I do not know. For me, I just have an English speaking CV. I've still not seen it wise to write my CV in Norwegian when the job I'm not applying for it as a Norwegian speaker. So it's just like me lying to you that I can speak Norwegian, and then I come and then I tell you no, I can't speak Norwegian. The format I'll be giving you has both Norwegian and English, so you can translate it and then write your Norwegian CV if you feel that's what's best, or if that's what the job requires you to do. You can do that. So have a Norwegian formatted CV. Most of the jobs require you to have a picture in your CV, which is not so common back home for me. Not all jobs require for my pictures. I don't think I've ever done that before. I only do that if I want to apply for jobs outside the country. So that's one thing you should know. Next step is for you to start playing around the job market in Norway. So start looking for career websites where you can register your CV and start looking for jobs, even though you're not sure you're coming or you're not ready to come. I think that would be another head start for you, because now you know, okay, this is what they are saying, this is what they are requiring, so you can make your adjustments. Because getting a job, it is not easy. It is not a one-day thing that you step out and you get a job. Nope. It can be easy for people. Some people come and they already have a job. You can come in a week, you start working, or you can come after 6 months before you get a job. It depends. It differs from person to person, as I always say. So you can just start doing that. Start trying the job market out. Start knowing what they're requesting for. You can be able to adjust yourself before you get here. And then when you are preparing your CV, have a cover letter or an application letter. Most jobs will tell you that if you do not have an application letter, they will not even look at your CV. So have an application letter set aside, so that as soon as the job comes, you'll be adjusting it as time goes on. If you wait till you get here before you do that, you would have like 3 months to be making adjustments. Every single day I still make adjustments on my CV. And when you do that, have different CVs for different jobs. So have a CV for cleaning jobs, have a CV for waiting jobs, have a CV for the career jobs you really want to do. Have a CV for that. For me, my career is to be an economist. I have a CV for that. That doesn't mean you should just throw what other experiences you have. You might be so lucky a multinational job will come for you, and then they would require you to have that past experience you had in your home country. And then the next one is, while you start applying for those jobs, embrace the rejection process, because you will chop rejection.
Fortunately, we are sorry to tell you that you are not qualified for this job.
You know how that thing stings? Like, it really stings. No matter how well you've positioned yourself, it stings. It's like, so do I even matter in this world at all? Am I even a person? Do they even see me as a person? Like, you start thinking about so many things, and it is draining mentally. So you just have to start preparing yourself for that. Embrace that process. It is something that is bound to happen. So in my next video, I'll be sharing with you websites that you can register your CV on. Just let me know if you want that. I think I'll do that if you want me to do that. I hope this was so helpful, and I'm just wishing you all the best in your coming to study in Norway and in your job search in Norway. Do not forget to subscribe to support me and like this video so that other people can see it on YouTube. And as always, I'll see you in my next video.